Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I've got a few things that I want to do today. What the heck is with this? The way that this shows now, I just dislike it immensely. I dislike it, but it is what it is. This is what we got to work with. Hello, hello, welcome. Thanks for being here. Come on in, say hello when you get here. Okay, coffee and chat. I actually had to just put my coffee away. I'm done with the coffee for the day, but you bring your coffee and let's chat. This is a frame that I had in my living room. I'm going to refurbish it. We're going to redo it. But before I do that, I am live using StreamYard. So let me see if I can't, hang tight, girls, make sure that this is working. And I think I will share the link to the folks over on Telegram. So let me just, if you don't mind, give me a minute to do that. Is it working? Oh yeah, baby. There we go. Let's see how this looks to you though. What is going on? Oh, there it is. Okay. I have no idea why this keeps positioning this way instead of long and wide. I prefer it long and wide. I don't know why. I can't figure it out for the life of me. So I'm sorry about that, girls, but let me get this shared over. Into Telegram, please. Here we go. So I think I'm going to use some molds. I'm going to paint this. I'm going to use molds. I'm going to make it much fancier than it is. In fact, I should have done before and after shot, but that's okay. I can probably take it on the video. There we go. That is now properly shared. Good morning, Mary Lanovic. Thanks for being here, sweet friend. All right, I will take a screenshot of that when the time comes. I'm going to prime this with black. We're going to put a mold on here, I hope. But I have some. I don't think I want to use this. All right, let's see. I have that and I have this, but I have not used this one. Oh, that one feels pretty good. I prefer this one. See, I put it in the back. I've not used it in a very long time. I do not have cornstarch. I don't generally use cornstarch. I know a lot of people do. And I was watching use cornstarch with her mold, and I was like, actually, it's not a bad idea. I mean, it would work out great, right? Okay, I have this, and I also have this to work on. This is something that I bought for my own house because I love, love, love cross stitch projects, and it is not technically cross stitch, but it has the whole look, and I love the blue fabric behind it, but the paint has been scratched to all heck and messed up, so I want to repaint this. So I've got a couple of things to do today. So thanks for being here. Let me get my glass tabletop here, and we will get started. I want to move I have a place to paint and not make a big old stinking mess. So let's start with black gesso. Get some black gesso coming out of here. So I got this, and I'm going to grab me a paintbrush, and we're going to get going. Hey, Callie. Hey, Debbie. What's happening, friends? Hey, April. Welcome, welcome. Look at her with a little crown and a number 1 after her name, Miss April. Thanks for always being a good supporter. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh, we're already getting black gesso on my white table. That's never any good. Is your screen frozen? I hope not. No, it was just me. I had paused the feed, which I did not know you could do when somebody was live, but apparently you can. All right. I think I'm just going to go right on here. I want to do a couple of things. I'm using the gesso first so it's primed, and second to cover up. I did lightly sand this as well. I'm hoping that the stenciling's not gonna show through, right? Because when you're stenciling, it's a little bit raised up. No, it's not. No, that's good. So I wanna prime it so that whatever I put on top next is gonna be handled well. And take it like a champ. Take it like a champ. What are you girls all up to today? Let's chat. Let's chat. I chatted with Chris Hunter this morning. Chris and I were talking cruise stuff this morning. She called me as soon as she woke up. I was so happy she did that because she's a night owl. I'm a morning person. So in the mornings, knowing that she stays up late and knowing that she sleeps in more than I do, I generally don't call her right away in the morning because right away in the morning to me is like 6 a.m. Actually, I was up from 3 until 4:30. I slept for like an hour and then I was up. So, and that's because my stomach was sick. So that was not by choice. It's just my stomach was icky, 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 icky. So anyway, she said, had to call you right away because, I know we've been trying to touch base and you're a night owl, you're a morning person. I'm a night owl. It's just funny. She just knows me so well. And then I just right before I did anything, before I even got out of bed, I made sure I call you right away. I'm so glad you did that because once I get started with my day, then I don't think to call people. I'm just doing. I'm private messaging people like crazy on Facebook, especially about the cruise right now, getting everybody's final payments in, and getting the hotel stuff figured out. But that's what we talked about was the cruise. She's gonna help with getting the t-shirts put together. She helped me I put together several cruise logos, and she helped me pick out the one that we're gonna use, and, I'm super excited about the whole darn thing. That's all I'm thinking. Boy, this gesso has really good coverage. It's really, really good coverage. Now, I'm gonna have to put this down to dry, and then I'm gonna paint the back actually as well, because the back this has been in my living room for a long time, and I painted it. It came from thrift store. I painted it the way I wanted it, but I didn't worry about the back, but I'm going to I'm gonna sell this, so I need to make sure I do a darn good job, and I am gonna do the back. Paint the back. But let's get this done. I'm gonna set this aside to dry. Where am I gonna hold it now? I need to be able to hold it. Everything's wet. Mhm. Weird. Back. Alright, I'm gonna put this aside. Hang tight, friends. Hang tight. I'm gonna grab this little piece of paper so I can don't roll away on me. I got up when Chris is he's going out of town. He's gonna stay overnight in Fargo where his brother lives. So he I was like, "Oh, I missed the side bill. I missed the side." He's going to our local football team, the one that Landon played on when he was in high school, made it to state champs, and they haven't done that in a very, very long time. So he's going to go to the game today, state championship game. So he left to do I'm sitting here for bingo tonight because he's like, "Do you want to go?" I'm like, "No, I got bingo with the girls." So I'm here for bingo tonight. Kids went home again. I don't know why. I got a message from them. They were coming home. Girls, I asked for their head measurements. They're not watching, but it was hilarious. I texted the kids and said, so my boys are 18 and 20, and I said, "I need your measurements of your head." And Landon just gave me a laugh emoji and said, "For what?" And I said, "Just do as mama says." I'm thinking Christmas gifts. Anyway, Yannon said to me, "I don't know how to take measure." I'm like, "Oh my word, kid, you're such a faker. You're such a faker." And then that's when Landon said, "Well, we're coming home this weekend. You can get them this weekend." Children's heads this weekend. And I'm not gonna say, just in case they're listening, I have in mind, I'm not gonna say what it is. Surprise them. Hey, Gia. Hello, hello. Good morning. I am a morning person. I definitely am. Are you, April? Are you a morning or a nighttime? I like to get to bed by 10 if I can. And that I was staying up really late working on Company Nest stuff for years. I was staying up till I'm not kidding you, midnight, 1, 2 in the morning, and then still getting up at 6 with the kids. And it just did not do well for my health at all. I wonder if I should work on this next. I think since I already have my paintbrush wet, I'm gonna go in with this and paint this. And I don't know, girls. Should I do it black again? I might do like a dark blue because this fabric has blue. Um, but anyway, I decided like a year ago, well, no more than that because I had the hysterectomy, remember? My health was so bad that I had to just start going to bed at a very regular time. I had to like really prioritize my sleeping health. So I'm gonna grab some painter's tape here. So anyway, yeah, I have started to go to bed. Like it is very rare for me to go to bed past 10:30. I usually go to bed, between I would say between 10 and 10:30. Some nights I go to bed at 9. I'm just that tired. I am going to take this all the way around so I can get in here tight. I don't wanna put it under the frame. I don't even think I can actually, but I wanna get it nice and tight. I don't wanna get any paint on my fabric. It needs to be tighter. You're neither. April, that's funny. Hi, Ruth. How are you? My daughter had her baby. Yes. Callie has a big announcement there, girls. Look in the comments at Callie's big announcement. A big announcement for all of us. Watch my head. I'm sorry for the head shot there. If you got the back of my head, I gotta lean in so I can see what I'm doing here. I like to do this in small pieces. I just feel like it's more controllable rather than doing just one long continuous piece. There's a piece of fabric. Okay, there's that. On this, I'll need one piece going this way. Oh, you're a Coco. That's what you go by, Coco. Oh my gosh, cute. I've never heard of a grandma called Coco. Is that a Southern thing or is that just your family preference? Like, Ruth, give us the deep. Callie, give us the deep because my friend Holly, she became a grandma, the last couple of years. We were talking about, she's like, I can't be called grandma. I'm too young to be called grandma. She did not like the idea of it, which cracked me up. Like, but you are. You had your children very young, so now you be a grandma. So anyway, which is I think is a really big blessing, right? Because then you get to really enjoy the kiddos because you're young and you have the energy to. Okay, this. I'm gonna do this. Oh, that's gonna be right in that corner. I have to cut this straight. In that corner. Like I can't have that. And she picked, or they picked, her family for her. They call her grandkids will refer to her as Lovey, which what I said to her, I've never heard that either. I've never heard of a grandma being a Lovey, but it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just my little corner of the world, I'd never heard of it. What other grandmother names do you guys go by or know? Like I grew up with Nana. This is like the things. Really, I grew up in an Italian community, so Nani was one. I'm Italian and Irish, so Nani was one. What is this? I got me some black paste or something on there. Okay. Nani, Nana, grandma, like the standard grandma. I never had grandparents. My grandparents were all gone before I was born. So I Didn't have grandparents to call anything. I didn't call them anything because I never had them. That's sad. Now that I'm an adult, it never really bothered me as a kid that I never had grandparents. I just didn't have them. It just was not part of my world. Um, but now that I'm adult, I'm like, "Aw," when I had my kids and my kids had my dad as a grandpa, papa, they called him, and, Chris's both his parents. Uh, I was like, "Oh, it's so sad that I never had this experience because it was really fun to see my kids interacting with papa and Nana, they called them. The kids still, they call her Nana, talk to her, which is nice. Give her get she gets all the, college updates for college. I'm getting this in here, and then I'm using my X-Acto knife to if it goes up on the edge of the paint, to just kind of lob that off of there. We don't need it will, like, mess up the paint, right? Look at the paint, it'll have, like, a missing spot. Taking off that little bit. I knew all my grandparents and your great-grandmothers. Gosh, what a blessing. Wowzer, that's amazing, actually. What a different experience you've had than I have had, right? That's so interesting. I had nothing, man. I had no grandparents. I wish I had known them. I think it would have helped me understand even my parents better if I knew my grandparents, and they just sounded really cool. They just sounded like really cool people. Right, I'm using the back of this to just push down to make sure I push down that tape so it's not, like, sticking up. I don't want any bubbles. There, I have a little this I could take out, but I'm not going to. I don't want to, I'm not going to. I'd rather obviously, I've gone through this whole process to tape now, what color, guys? I'm thinking a dark blue. Have you watched the movie The Novice? I did watch that, Mary. I watched it, like, almost, like, right away when it came out. I thought it was so cute. Did you like it, Mary? As a child, my name was Calico. My children decided years ago that whenever they had grandchildren, they'd have to call me Coco. Oh, I love it. So that is so unique to you then. It's not like something that happens in your area of the country. It is unique to your family. I absolutely love it, Kelly. Ruth says being a grandma is awesome. I was 37 when I became a grandma. You have to be called grandma. That's my mom's job. They call you Nana. I love Nana, Rusty. I think Nana's sweet. That's what my kids call their name. Okay, I'm looking for a paint color that will match this, and I know I have some chalk paint that I don't covered up most of my look at this chalk paint color. Now, I have not opened this in a long time, so no idea. I think it's just so perfect with that blue. I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna give it a good shake, and then I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna do this. So I have a bit of a headache because I couldn't sleep well, because of my stomach being messed up. You guys don't need to hear all the details. But I was telling my husband, he's like, "All right, that was a lot to share." I have to go to the bathroom several times. He's like, "Oh, great. Thanks for sharing." Look, I know, honey. You're my hubby. I tell you everything. He's like, "Wow, I feel really lucky." Okay, this is the color. It is gorgeous. I'm gonna get a different brush because I don't want black on it, but I may reuse. I'm gonna put this in the water. My water's clean, so I'm gonna stick that in the water, and then let's look at what this color looks like. Beautiful. Yeah, that's the color. I mean, standard black when you have primitive and you, um I'm gonna get a stick so I can stir this paint even more. I want it really stirred well because I've not used it in a long time. In fact, I actually might just grab my little oh, that sounds awful. but it's gonna work. I'm gonna put it in there, and we're gonna stir this thing up. I'm gonna move this so I don't get any on here. Ready? It's in there, and let's give it a good stir. Sometimes it's just easier than shake, shake, shake it. I think I need to change my batteries or recharge it because it's getting slow in the thick of the paint, but it is swirling it around. Oh boy, does that sound awful. I need to grease this thing. April called both of her grandparents, her grandmothers, grandma. Gina says I'm a Gigi. I have 8 grandchildren on the way. 6 of those 8 are 4 years old and younger. Oh my gosh, Gigi, you are busy. Yeah, it gets crazy. Oh, I'm pasta Sundays. I miss my Italian Sundays. I miss them so much because we would see people we don't normally see, right? Like, so I have a lot of older brothers and sisters. I'm the 11th out of 13. So, uh-oh, the thing, it came right out. It came right out. So 11 out of 13, what was I gonna say? So my older siblings, I didn't really always live with them, right? Like when I was 5, my oldest brother moved away to college, and then the next 5 siblings were all a year apart. So Stephen, Brittany, Mark, Joey, Linda, the 5 oldest are all a year apart. So between 5 and 10, they were all moving out to college, not right away, but like, they moved out as adults. Um, so I just loved, you know, so growing up, we would go to church. The younger ones would always go to church with my parents. I don't know what my older brothers and sisters did. Sometimes they were married, they were going to church with their own wife or husband and family. Um, but Sundays would be the day we would all come together for coffee or dinner. After my mother died, it was mostly like going to church with my dad and having coffee with him. He didn't always cook a big meal by himself because that was always what he and my mom did. So it was really different after my mom died. Things did change a whole lot. I was 17 when my mom died, so, we had to, like, refigure what our Sunday time together was, and for a while, I think we did do meals, but as people got older and there were just it was, like, more hit and miss of who could come and who could be there and all that, so then it was just, like, got down to, "Alright, let's meet for coffee." Yeah. So anyway, alright, that's mixed up pretty good. This is the color I'm going with. It's a really beautiful blue. That do you like that color? Oh, I just think it's beautiful. So because I have several things that I'm painting here and they have multiple sides, I'm gonna like we'll be doing this in phases. I'm gonna actually, Gracie, be very smart about this. It would be a good idea that I cover my project, like or my I'm gonna put a piece of paper because remember what I did the other day on that project that I was doing and I dropped paint, a blob of paint right on the project, Santa. So I'm gonna tape this down so if I drip a paint, it doesn't ruin my pretty pretty thing. My pretty. All right, pretty. I may distress this back to the black, which it doesn't matter then that the black is all scratched up. Right? I need to get in there. I'm gonna need a brush, I think, to get in here. This brush is too big or something. So let's just do this front facing part and then I'll go in with a different brush. This is chalk paint and I forgot how lovely chalk paint is to work with. I mean, that sounds awful. That like it's that there's a hanger on the back, so it's making this uneven. And it's clanking around on my glass table. So let's get all the fuzzing cloth, put it down so we don't get so much clanking going on. Are you guys getting ready for Christmas? Talk to me about that. I was going to put the Christmas tree up this weekend, and now the kids have come home, so I think I was well, I wanted them to come home and the tree be up, but I was not expecting them home this weekend, and now they're there. So maybe I can do it today before they get home, just at least get it up in the living room. I have to move there's a rocking chair in the place where I put the Christmas tree, always goes in the same corner, and I don't know which is where it fits. So I have to move the rocking chair, and there's, like, a quilt rack back there that will have to go in for the season. So I could do that today before they get here, but I don't even know what time they're getting here. I have been so good, girls, at I have to say, I'm gonna pat myself on my shoulder, as my dad used to say. "If I could kiss my own ass, I would," is what he would say. If he made, like, a good meal or something, he'd say, "Wow, if I could kiss my own ass, Gracie, I would." Um, but I've been doing really good at leaving those boys alone, which is hard for me because I wanna know everything they're doing. I wanna know who they're with. I love my kids, and I'm used to being a part of their life, like, big time. Like, we're very close. So, Chris asked me, "What time are they coming home?" And I said, "I don't know, honey. I did not call them and ask them a million questions. I'm trying really hard to let those boys live their life, and when they want me, they'll call me. When they need me to know something, they'll tell me." I mean, now, if it was critical or if it was gonna change my day, like I needed to know, of course I'd call them and they would tell me, but if they're not offering, I'm not asking because I'm trying to give them give them their space, if you know what I mean. But it's hard for me because I miss them and I love everything that's I wanna know everything. I wanna know it all. I wanna know everything, children, my kids. Alright, let's smooth this out. Spots to smooth. I'm gonna get a smaller brush, and actually, though, I was gonna just stress back to the black. So, actually, maybe it's not a big deal, like, can you see in here a little bit of black showing? Maybe that's not such a big deal, right? It looks more authentic now. There is, like, this spot right here that I don't like. Right in here, it's just too much showing, so we're gonna grab a little of this and but I guess I don't need it to be, like, uber perfect. I guess that's what I'm saying because I wanted to stress it anyway. So I wouldn't want this to be perfect anyway. I'm gonna leave some of this a little bit of can't even see what I'm doing over here on this corner. How often do you guys talk to your adult children? I mean, and maybe it's like, my one son I think I was talking to Lori Wallace about this once, and she had said I think she has a daughter and a son. And I remember being surprised that she said, "I actually talk to my son more than I talk to my daughter," which I don't have daughters, but I was assuming that, a mom would talk to her daughters more, and she said that's just not the way it is for her family, and I found that very interesting. Every family's every child is different, so, like, even the way that they wanna relate to their parents is gonna be different because they're different people, and I think that's pretty cool, actually. Alright. I'm going to smooth this, and then I'm going to start working on these sides. Mm, I don't need to do the back necessarily on this one. I'm gonna clean up the back of the other one because I was so messy when I first did it, but this one, I'm okay if the back is black. On getting sides done. Actually, I'm gonna grab a smaller brush, one that is more the size of this. Is this the right size? Yeah. Well, it might be a little big. It is smaller than stomach is hungry, girls. Hungry this morning. Let's see. I just love this color. I think it's called Aubusson Blue, and it's blown chalk paint color. It was a long time ago when I bought it. I don't know if she still has this color. But I vowed I was not gonna be buying any more paint until I worked through some of the paints that I have. I have way too many of those small, like, apple barrel sized paint colors, and I thought, "I'm not buying a stinking stitch of paint," other than I did buy a bottle of white, earlier this year, because the paint lasts so long, right? And I would like to get to the point where instead of having 12 greens, I have, like, 3 basic greens, and if I need to change the color, I'll mix it. Like, if I want it darker, I can mix black into it. If I want it brighter, I can mix white into it, another lighter color. So I'd like to get to that rather than having so many darn bottles, they just take up too much room, just too much space. This is taking a while because I'm trying to be careful about the edge. Just don't want to get a ton of paint on the back. I did not use the painter's tape. My daughter, I talk to multiple times a day, my 3 sons a few times a week. We all I see each other throughout the week. Oh, that's lovely. Gee, Chris and I have this conversation a lot. I shouldn't say a lot. It comes up a lot with us, Chris and I. It has since the kids were little. You know, I grew up in Massachusetts. I did not love, um, North Dakota when I first moved here. I love it now. But I was used to being in a metro area. I loved the heritage of Boston. I loved the Italian. I mean, it's very diverse, but there's a lot of Italian Irish. There's almost none here. There's like no Italian Irish. There's like even the foods that they carry in the grocery store are different because it's just not what people eat here. So that I did not love when I moved here, and I don't like this cold weather at all. For a very long time that we are able to move when Christopher's no longer working full time, when we don't own Monster Line anymore, um, that I would like to go further south or somewhere else. I don't wanna move back to Boston. I don't even wanna move back to Massachusetts, but I would like to go somewhere where it's a little bit less cold. That's what I've always said, and now that we're getting older, Chris has always said to me, "You are not gonna wanna leave the kids, Grace. You say that, but you're gonna wanna be in the same town where the kids are, especially if they have children." I'm like, "No, you can always get on the phone." I've always told them that. "We can always visit them, they can visit us," but now, as it gets closer and closer to hopefully that time, eventually we'll be there. I don't know, Gia, I might wanna be just like you, where I get to see them regularly. Them being away at college has been like, okay, this is what it would be like to not see them every day, to not be able to see them, not like be able to say, "Hey, you wanna come over for dinner?" I can't do that now, they're too far away. That's interesting, right? Yeah, perspective changes. And Chris said he said all along, "You're not gonna you say that you wanna move somewhere far away where it's warm." I said, "Yep, I would even move to the Bahamas. I mean, I want warm weather." And he's like, "Heck no." He doesn't like it. I'm like, "Bruce, I would totally move to the Bahamas, and they can come visit us." No, you will not. I think he's right. I hate to admit it. The man be right. You guys, how many people it doesn't show on my screen. How many people are hanging out with us right now? Can anybody see that and report in to me in the comments, please? Because I can't see it on the screen that I'm looking at. I suppose so I'm in YouTube. Maybe if I go over to the StreamYard, but right now my fingers are painting. So someone report in. I'm just curious how many people you see H, Gia? Well, Gia, thank you for being so love to chit chat with you guys. So it is way more enjoyable for me when I have someone to chit chat with. So thank you for that. I don't know. I was thinking recently, I have my schedule that I do, and it's pretty normalized with the craft therapy club. Like we usually do Um, the Creative Bingo Challenge usually hits the first week of the month, so does the I announce the winner of the Craft It Challenge from the month before. Like, I have a pretty normal schedule, like, regular schedule. But so that I don't think I'm gonna be changing any of that, but on the public facing side, like, I've been going live on YouTube, it's gotta be 2 years now, but there's not always a ton of people here, so I don't know, I'm thinking maybe to change something up. I'm thinking maybe I should change it up. What do you guys prefer when watching? Do you prefer to watch a live? Do you prefer to watch a recording of a project? Do you prefer it to be daytime, weekday, evening, weekend? Like, what do you like? Talk to me. I wanna dry this just a little bit because I am afraid I'm gonna get a ton of blue everywhere. I don't mind a little blue, but I don't want a ton. I in fact, I'm gonna let this sit here on that edge while I finish this edge. All right, it's basically done. Look at the paint that got a little brush. Oh my gosh, I'm knocking things over. See what we can get through today for these projects. I have so many things I want to get done. The tape in there. Gia says my preference is to catch a live, but I also will watch it later too if I can't watch live. Oh, that's good to know. I prefer live too because I like the interaction a lot. I really do. And I'm not sure that younger people like interaction like that. Like, we're all, I think, 50s, 60s, the people who hang out with me. Um, but if you're watching this and you're not in your 50s or 60s, tell me what era you're in. Are you in your 70s? Are you in your 40s, 30s, 20s? Because I think I know that the Comfy Nest chicks, the people who hang out here, are generally 50s, 60s, 70s. Then maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are some 20-year-olds out there hanging out with us, and I just don't know it. If I know who's out there, then I know kind of what I'm like. Who am I aiming to please here? Who am I trying to connect with? Oh my gosh, I love this color so much. And one coat is going to suffice. It had that black behind it. And I do want to distress it back. So I think the one coat is going to be just enough. So yeah, this can sit and dry. So I was thinking I put more paint on, but I don't think I will. I'm gonna leave it just as it is. I'll put these paintbrushes in the water, cover up my paint, and then we'll go to the back to the other one. I can't believe how stinking hungry I am. It's very unusual for me to have like such hunger pains. Like, what's going on here? Gracie needs to eat something. So yesterday, I've been doing gluten-free, egg-free, because that's what my sensitivity testing told me I needed to do. Um, and my drinks feel so much better. I feel so much better after it's been like 7 weeks. And yesterday we had our homeowners association meeting, and just where we ended up, somebody offered us like these little brownie bites, and I was like, "Oh, brownie bites." So I was like, I'm gonna treat myself. So I had one, and then when my stomach was bothering me last night, I was like, my elbows hurt. It's because I ate the darn brownie bite. I can't be doing that. It probably had eggs and flour. And anyway, it just goes to show you if you listen to the doctor, you'll be way better, Gracie. I talked to her about this on Wednesday because she said, "How are you?" You know, we were doing a checkup. been doing some different things with hormones and changing my diet again for 6 to 8 weeks to see how, how my body reacted. So much better. I'm in so much less pain. Okay, how do you feel about that? Like, are you good with gluten-free? I'm like, "Oh, heck yeah, I can do that." I said, "Plus, I know, like, I don't I'm not allergic, I just have a sensitivity. So if someone's having a birthday cake and I wanna have a piece of cake, I can do it. I just know I'm gonna suffer a little bit, and I have to decide whether that's worth it to me." So those brownie bites, in the moment that I ate them, they were so super yummy, but then in the middle of the night, when my elbows were aching, I was like, "Gracie, it wasn't worth it." So that's just constant conversation when you have a sensitivity. It's just a constant conversation you have with yourself. Like, is it worth it to eat that or drink that if you have, like, sensitivities to things? Is it worth it? Because 'Cause you're gonna feel like crud. So you know that, I control it, and I'm thankful that it's not a true allergy, it's a sensitivity, but boy, within hours, "Oh, my elbows are aching again." Mhm. Just like, "It was my own fault." I can hear my dad say it. "You did it to yourself, Grace. You're 42 and going to 43. April, you're a youngin'. You're such a youngin'. You're such a babe. You hot babe." April, you're a hot babe. I love it. Yeah, I my birthday is next month. I'm coming up on another one, girls. We're coming up on another one. All right. Just so easy. That's just gonna clean up that back so much. Like it. I like it. Let's just try to peek into this. Make sure I don't have any drippy paint anywhere. That color is really nice. The just Oh, I can see a little bit of that scallop. Maybe that won't be bad. I definitely need another coat of something, and I was trying to decide, um, mold on this. I think I'm actually gonna paint this like a creamy white. I mean, that sounds crazy over the black. No, I wanna do white. Color should we do, girls? I'm gonna put a mold on there. Where's the mold that I put? Where are they? Oh, I put them on the floor. I was considering these. Hold on. So, it's not that wide. This is not that wide, so I have to keep that in mind, but look at how gorgeous these are. I have other ones like that that are a little bit smaller. This one here, I've used it a lot, as you can see. So maybe this guy. But these are amazing. I just think they're a little bit they're too wide, but they're gorgeous. I'll put that one aside. As much as I love it, I don't think it's gonna fit. And then also this. So I'm gonna start making these, and then maybe once I have them made, I can, make a decision about what color I wanna go with. These on top, and then we're gonna paint over it, and I think I'm gonna use some gilding wax to, um, add some metallic. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now, these are kinda dirty. I mean, I got some residual in there. Let me get it out. Your 8 is 19. Oh, she's a baby. I gotta get all the little crusties out of here. Bad, Gracie. I put away my tools dirty. It's not the end of the world, but let's see if my clay is even gonna play nice. I have, and it is still pretty soft. Now, this other stuff that I have, Let me get it. The only issue I have with this, I don't know that it dries real good. I don't think it dries real good for something like this. I think we want the paper thin. I just don't think it's appropriate for furniture and frames and things like that. Hold on. It's more like a foam. It's crazy. Crazy town. Let's make this little lion's head and see what much it's too much there. It's like gum. It's so different than like paper clip. So different. Oh, that might be the right amount, Gracie. I think I did it right. I need just a touch more in there for the back of it. See if it'll come out very easily. Okay, it's in there. Let's see. It's so pliable. Like I think it's going to stretch when I'm doing this. It's going to distort. Oh no, it didn't. All right, let's see how this dries. I'm going to put it aside and let's see how it dries because I don't think it dries. That foam stuff, it's really easy to work with, but I don't think it dries well. Looking for my X-Acto knife. Hold, please. Just cut off. There's a little extra here. Yeah, it's not cutting. See, it's like it stretches. So weird. All right, we're gonna let this do dry. I'm gonna put this away and grab the other stuff. We're just gonna, I want to compare the two. Is your screen frozen, ladies, or is it just mine? I'm just here. It might be easier to see you guys and chat there. Comments. There, now I can see comments. Mary says 70. You coming up on a birthday. You and Gannon are both March babies. My mother was born in March too. Oh, and Gia has a birthday in March. Look, we got a few March babies here. You baby girls, March babies. Where is my scissors? I'm gonna open this up. I used my kitchen vacuum sealer to seal my clay so it's air protected. And I did that a long time ago. This is still soft to the touch, so it's doing good. We might need to add a little water. Let's see what we got here. Oh, it stinks though. Stinky. Boy, this is not something you want to do if you have like joint pain. That's an issue for you. I do not have any concerns. So we're gonna go right ahead and see what we can do here. I would like one continuous piece, but that may not work out. And that's okay. As long as the top is continuous, we can paint over it and cover up anything that we don't like the look of. So I think I need more. Just reshape. Let's do this. I'm gonna make it into like a tube so I can get it in there like this. You see? The right size, and then we can push it in. And I don't know if it's gonna come out easily or not. I've never had trouble. I don't, I've been using these darn molds for a very long time, years, and I've never had trouble, but a lot of people do put cornstarch in. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't actually know what the right choice is. Taking off the extra. Don't need all this extra hanging out. Push that in there. And then I usually use like a palette knife or something to pull off the excess, like something with a sharp edge to like get it down to a flat and make sure that it's dirty though. It's like it's getting that dirty. That doesn't really matter either because it's gonna get painted over, but I do wanna pull off the excess and get right to the line there, like, but I don't want it like a mound. I want it to come in and pull the excess off. 'Cause if I gotta glue it down on the frame, I want it to glue down flat. I don't want it to be raised up. Let's see what this does. It has been a long time since I used me some clay. Right over here, where are we at? So I really want this to be smooth. So what I usually do, and you can wet your finger if it helps you, but I usually just the heat and the movements will smooth that out. I have extra here, I can just see it to go beyond mold. All right, and I just scraped some out of the mold. I don't wanna do that either, so let's get that done. Smooth our edges. Feels like there's still too much up here. There, I think it's good. Um, my friend Kathy, or hot glue. Does anybody use hot glue in their molds? Tell me if you prefer hot glue to using the paper clay. And tell me this, do you let this sit for a while or do you pull it out right away? Do you let this sit and dry? I usually just pull it out right away, but I do see people that let it dry and then they pop it out. If you want to mold it to your project, like say you had a round like jar that you're gonna put this on a jar, you obviously would need to take it out wet. That way it can form to the jar when you glue it down. Did you know you could do that? It's feeling pretty fragile. Might be a little bit too thin right here because it's not wanting to come out right. Come on, right there. It's stuck right there. And I ripped it right there. Oops. 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 Let's see what we got. Rip that edge. And is that connected? This was right there. I don't like I'm gonna do it again. I don't like it's got just one too many flaws. I don't mind a flaw because actually it looks like, aged and old that way. Let's just see. I do not need this to be rounded, so I can let it dry and paint it. Get off this excess. What I wanted to do though more than anything is just kind of test this for size on the frame. So fragile. Yeah, see, it's the right size for the frame. The other one was just way too wide. Actually, her little foam guy. Well, I think when the foam dries, it changes shape, like it shrinks, so it distorts this. So I don't like that. Let's make another one. I think that's the right size. Let's make the other one. I just did this one, so we need to decide if it's already starting to get a little dry. Crazy, it happens so quick. But I'm gonna spray a little bit of water on there. If I can find my water bottle. Because it's wet, and it's probably a good idea to like close it up. Don't let it just sit there like that. Your 8 is a March baby too? Holy. Thanks for everybody who's popped on in, whether you're watching the replay or live. Thank you, thank you. Please say hello, let me know where you're coming in from. Just chat with me. I love to get to know you guys and what your preferences are. That's why I ask those questions to make sure that I'm accommodating. Like what, if you're gonna spend the time hanging out with me, which I so appreciate the company, then I want to do what makes sense for you, right? Like the whole point is that we connect. So if there's a day of the week that you prefer or a way that you like to connect more than another, be sure that it helps us a lot as creatives to know if what we're doing is. I'm gonna push that way in there. It's way too bulky. You can see how much I have over. It's just way too high profile there. We got to get that down. But before we do that, push it in there. Okay, now we come in and take off some of the excess because we just don't need that much. I'll smooth that out in a minute. So don't about it. Not too much. Not too much. Put some back. If these weren't so fragile, I would make ahead of time. Because once you get this stuff out, it's like while you have it all dirty and your fingers are all full of it, it's better to just get as much done as you can. Um, but they're fragile. Like, what if you wanted to make like 10 mermaids and just have them on hand so that when you make a mermaid, you can glue it down to whatever your project is. But they're too fragile, I think, to just have on hand like that without being attached to something. Okay, I'm gonna smooth. Let me check our edges to see how much extra we have. So after this, I do have some ladies waiting for me to answer them about some stuff on the cruise. So after this is done, I'll wash my hands, grab a bite to eat, get back to my computer, and I'll start working on answering questions and helping you guys who are going on the cruise with us in February, Crafty Chicks Cruise. I'll help you guys make payments. Final payments are due next week. Yeah, they're due a week from tomorrow. So, well, it's better if you guys can do it early. That way we're not like struggling to get them all in by next Saturday. So for those who are ready, thank you. You guys let me know. I'm ready. You can do it today. Put it on my card today, and that helps a lot. Helps to spread the workload since it's just me doing it all. So it's better for me to do over a couple of weeks than to do. All right. It's a slow, tedious process, but it is actually pretty relaxing. Like I could get lost doing this. This just doesn't feel smooth. Jagged. I do see some people come in with their knife, straighten those edges. Your hands won't get so dirty. I like to be able to feel it though, because I'm kind of a tactile person. All right, let's see if we can get this out without ripping it. That's the next challenge I see. Okay, what's going on here? We just have a little too much clay. Yes, we do. All right, let's see if we can get it out. Smooth, smooth, smooth. You don't use the molds at all? I don't use them often, but man, they do they make a big difference on a project if you can have a raised up design. I mean, you could always stencil a flourish or stencil a bumblebee or an angel on your project, but it's a totally different feel when it has like a 3D effect, right? All right. Oh, we did it. There it is. Nice. All right, this is going back in here. Well, no, there was one more shape that I think I was going to do. So we have two of these, and actually, well, let me just clean this up right here. Off there. And here, just the stuff that's sitting on top that I don't know. A little tedious. Okay, I was thinking about doing, I don't know that this will fit. We're doing one of these. This is 2 inches big. No, see, that one's too big. This would fit. Let's get this one in. Do one more mold. Is there anybody else this weekend? Is there an event or a person who's going to be live that you guys are hoping to connect with this weekend? What's going on? Any crafty things I should know about? Some of the ladies are at a retreat or a gathering, like Bev's creating Love and Whimsy, and Roberta. I think, are those girls, did they all get together somewhere down south? Some gathering. I thought I saw that they were on the road. On the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. All right. This one's a lot easier because it's just round. It doesn't have all these little ins and outs. It's a little easier when it's a straight thing like that. That's my Gannon. Just got a call back for stuff I said town for. Wait a minute. Industrial engineering interview will happen after Thanksgiving. Oh, yes, for an internship. Steffes is North Dakota, I believe, location. But the other interview that he had last week was for Wyoming. Oh my goodness. What if my child goes this summer? I'll miss him if he's not here. Well, Landon was in North Dakota, but he wasn't in Devil's Lake. So we got to see him, on the weekends. He would come home. It was a lot of driving for that kid all summer. And I don't prefer that for my kid, just they're young and vibrant. They can handle it. But I just think life is easier if you have to do all of that. Oh, look at this. So pretty. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Now I want to get the excess off. Said, all right, this got a lot of little clay bits hanging out. So let's scoot them over and then it becomes again so much easier. It's just a straight line rather than all that in and out there. So I do this. We're going to take off the excess. And then if you can do it, it's a lot easier around like this. I'm just going to come around and smooth those edges while it's still wet. It's just easier to do than when it's all dried up. My hands look terrible, I know. This is what I'm thinking. Let me get this piece of paper to put down. So I'm thinking we're so fragile, everyone. Don't break me. Please don't break. Maybe something like this. Oh no, too big. So they're too wide, too long. So maybe, I mean, search your options on how you want to design them. That's the nice thing about molds. Oh, I like that. Which do you like better? Do you like the molds on the edges on the outside or centered in the middle? Which do you think is better? This way? Or should we go with this way? 1 or 2? Well, now that I see that I kind of like that too. 1 or 2. I think I might like 2 better now that I see it that way. I think outside too. Gia, me and you, look at my hands. I'm gonna put this away. I don't need any more of this. So I'm going to put this away. I will, when I get off of here, this will be one of the things I'll have to do is bring this back to my kitchen and take out my vacuum sealer, and I'll vacuum seal this again just to make sure it stays. And actually what I usually do is just put a spritz of water in there so that it stays moist, even though I hate that word. Put it in here for now. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do, like that. And I'm going to just glue them down now. Let's just do it because we might as well let them dry with the glue. So I usually use wood glue, I think works best, but really, usually probably, you want it to be a permanent glue. Right? So for me, a light glue, a PVA glue would be good. This is my PVA glue. I have to make sure that I'm centered, girls. It's just about 10 inches long, so 5 is my center. Oh, come on. Oh, come on now. Oh, come on now. To what? Gia, to what? Are you answering a question that I asked and I can't even remember? It could be happening. Look at my poor hands. They're trying to get the glue to come out of the bottle. Forgive me for taking so long. Oh, Shauna, it's okay. It's okay, girl. I get you. I understand. Thanks for saying so. Holy moly. It's so irritating when this happens, you guys. I can't even tell you. How much is that doggy in the window? I was gonna say, how much does this annoy little Gracie? A lot. Girls, a whole stinking lot. Oh, there we go. Now we get it. Now we're getting it. So what I usually do, your white glue, wood glue works great, but I usually do it like that. And I know it's not good for your fingers, but spread it out. You want to get the edges because you don't want something like you don't want one of the it's still malleable. So if you put it down and you push, it could move the backing around. You want to make sure all of these edges are really stuck on there. Okay. So 5 is here. So it's really gone. Centered at the bottom with this little medallion thingy. And I'm going to put these 2 on the top. So I'm going to just tap, making sure all my edges are going down. I've got a little bit of glue oozing here, so I'm going to take a little silicone tool like one. And I'm just going to get rid of a bit of glue that's pulled around the edges that seep. Now, remember, I'm going to put more paint over this, so I'm going to get painted again. And then I'll use like a metallic wax. The black was the gesso that I wanted to get down just to prime the surface. All right, let's go to these 2 stinkers. And to do that, I'm going to flip it around this way. And I will use lion, the grids on the table to kind of tell me where my markings are, right? Like, so if this is 10 inches across, right? So 5 is my center. But if I'm going to like start this one at 3.5 from the edge, then I know this one needs to be 3. That will help me stay straight. Okay, this is already starting to feel like it's put it down. A little bit on. All right, I'm going to try to use a little less glue this time. I wanted you to be able to see it. Bottom. There's no need in wasting, right? So we only need enough to cover all the bits. Throw her down. So let's get this one. It does not matter if the glue, if the glue like that, it doesn't matter. It's gonna get covered. I'm going to be painting again. I've got this big edge though that's not, it's got this extra. I'm going to take off there. And then let me check, like, where do I really want this placed? Right there is good. Excess if I can. And I'm going to tap so I can make sure that I get it like really good contact everywhere. Okay, there's my little silicone tool. I'm going to use this and away some glue. Looks terrible on the black with all that glue, and it's like the white powdery clay. It's terrible. But again, it's going to get all painted. Hey, what's for lunch today, girls? I'm starving, 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 and inspire me with something to eat. I'll probably end up just having a salad again, like I always do. As much salad as I eat, I think I was a rabbit. Okay, this one is at, I want to try to eat. I'm going to pull this out now that it's dry. And I want to be able to see my lines because the lines are going to help me like know where to place things. And I better stand up so I can really see what I'm doing here. All right. Come on. Already starting to dry. You can see it. The color's changing here. It's already starting to dry. It's very fragile, cracked in the middle. I'm going to use it. It's cool looking. I'm going to get this down before it dries. Oh, you're so fragile. You're like a sugar cookie. It's like when you make a sugar cookie into like a mold. You mold it into like a cookie cutter shape, and then you're trying to work with it, but it's just breaking up. I don't know what it's like. Don't need all that excess. We just don't, girls. We just don't. All right. Now, this is at, oh, it's almost at 2 inches high. So let's go here. This would be where the tail wants to end. It's right here. But this is like really fragile. I might have to do it in 2 pieces. I don't think it's going to flip real well. It's like trying to flip a pancake. It breaking on you. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm almost right with the tail being at 2 inches. Does that look right to you? Good to me. Close to the bottom, but maybe just, and let's clean up the glue. Too close to the edge, maybe just a tish. I'm gonna slide this. This is gonna have a totally different vibe when it's done than where it was so modern before. Vintage Victorian look. All right. All right. So this is what it ends up looking like as a prime. Now it's been an hour and 16 minutes, an hour and 15 minutes. So I'll break there because I'm not going to work on this for 3 hours. I don't have that kind of time today because I got to get going with some of your cruise help. If you're new here and you don't know, we are doing a Crafty Chicks cruise, and it is in February 2026, leaving from Miami for 5 nights to the Caribbean. So if anybody's remotely interested, you comment and let me know, and I will send you the details. It's on February 21st for 5 nights. There's still room for people if you guys want to join us. What do we think, girls? What do we think? My table's a mess, but we're going to let this dry, and then I'll be able to paint. I like it to dry. I'm going to glue to dry so everything's glued down and in place before I do paint. I know, it's going to be so fun. Is it 90 days? The countdown is on. I'm hungry too, Ruth. My stomach is hungry today. Hungry, hungry. All right, girls. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Dirty hands, I give you a dirty little heart. God bless you all. I'll catch you next time. Craft Therapy Club members, we've got bingo tonight at 7 o'clock. It was rescheduled since I messed up my schedule last week. Okay, so it's rescheduled for tonight. I'll see you then. Bye.